Welcome back, everyone. This is part two from our Yeagarup trip. Just continuing on from where I left off. So we are still actually this is Saturday, so we're still continuing from Callcup towards Jasper Beach for our overnight camp spot over there. So that's the Google Maps route that we were going to take to get us out. Ideally, we'd get the main road, hit the main road, and then come in through Scott's Road. I'll link in the description to a previous trip where we did a different route and went through a lot of water crossings. Whereas this, where I wanted to take a different route. So you can see that's the version where I'm coming out through Callcup. And you can see over here I'm taking Scott's Road in where the arrow indicates. There's a little marker where I show we cross a little tiny river. It's not really a river, it was more like a puddle at this stage, but it's something you need to be aware of during winter. And then this is Jasper Beach area. You see on one of the slides on to the right you got Jasper Lake. Then you've got the marker where I show you where Jasper Beach is, where you'd want to where we want to camp, and then Blackpoint's around the edge. So here's some vision of some of that trek that we got to take through here. You can see how the sand, like, it's not that difficult to go through, but it does have a lot of corrugations and a few wombat holes here and there. You can see some of the suspension working over time in the Ranger in front. Although I did capture a lot of this primarily to point out some of the ways of placing your vehicle, so you try not to sit in those ruts. If you see all that movement that's happening with the rear suspension, you'll see it in mine in a minute. But if you were to move your tyres over so that it's wherever possible you can sit so that it's outside of the main section, so you're running partially in the middle and partially on the outside, you can see, look at all that work that rear suspension's doing. That was going over some wombat holes. You can see the amount of work it's pushing through there, but you try and keep it to the outside, and on the inside makes it a smoother ride. So this is that little river area. So this can get flooded at times during winter, but obviously at the time period that we're in, I wouldn't say this is a river, it's just a tiny little puddle that we were to go through, so no dramas there at all going through that. Momentarily I'm going to actually take over talking while I'm driving. Got the camera pointed around the other way, so I'm driving but got the camera on, so I'm going to start talking momentarily and let myself take over and talk from what I was saying on there. just following on from that, so this is just indicating where we were, round about where we were, and where we were going to. So Blackpoint was for the next day. So we camped over near Jasper. Conditions weren't the best for fishing at all, unfortunately. We had to find an alternative camp spot, different from my last one. And there's some vision just coming up now. This is me coming up from a campground down further below. From the reverse, you can see how bad the weather is. Just to look at, so you can see some of those wombat holes that were just down the bottom there that made it really difficult to come up through that area. So we had to get out of that. So this is the trek from Jasper Beach towards Blackpoint, or Stepping Stones. So Stepping Stones is the name of the beach on the opposite side. It's got a nice little bay in there, and then you can get to, we were going to go to Jasper Beach, but just the conditions, as you'll see when you get to the cove, I'll show you the difference between the previous visit compared to this visit. You'll be quite shocked as to the conditions. So it just was not the right time for fishing down there, unfortunately. It wasn't the best. So this is that track that you take. So it's not too difficult, but you do have a lot of these issues where you can see a lot of the wombat holes, and this is where you've got to make the right decisions around. I mean, this is sped up footage, by the way, so take this into account, but you go at a pace that's suitable to your car, so you wouldn't want it bouncing around like crazy. If you don't have to, you put your car in for low or something, and just ease. Like this one's nice. This is actually sped up, but he's going, this Brett's car going really nice and really slow through this section, and you can see the minimal amount of movement that's actually happening with the camera, so you can tell the suspension is just nicely crawling through some of that section. So you don't always need speed for some of this, particularly when you can tell the sand has been compacted through a lot of use. So this is the bay I was talking about, Stepping Stones. That's the conditions we were there on the day. You can see overcast, but it's more about the tide and the how much wash was coming up. So this is that exact same spot on my previous visit, so you can tell it's a nice beautiful day. You still got some nice tide coming through, but it's not as dangerous to fish off those sort of rocked areas in that area. So this is the Google Maps area to get us out from Blackpoint. Getting out from Blackpoint is really easy, so a lot of people actually come in there because there is a campground called Humpback Hallows, I think it's called. So this is Oz Explorer's version to show you how to get out, like the smaller version and then a bigger version, so you can see where Bustleton is. So it's pretty easy to go follow the main track out. It's pretty straightforward. You can go Blackpoint Road and it takes you out to I think it's Stewart's Road. So this is me very sped up flying along through here. So obviously I'm not going this quick in real life. But this is the conditions you're in as you drive along on the way out, so it's not hard at all to get through this area at all. It's quite easy enough for driving activity. You can even tell, look at the rear suspension, it's barely doing anything, and this is where I was using a lot, moving the tires outside of the main line, and you can tell the main line sitting a little bit to the right, and you can see my tires right close to the outside. It does depend. I move around on the track depending on what scenario is the case, but it's just to give you an idea. And this is just the reverse camera, so we're watching looks like Jenna coming up, so she's driving behind me. So you can see I'm maneuvering the car around certain parts or slowing down if there's, like, you can see that's all the rocky stuff, so I've slowed down a lot there, and then I can speed up through sections where it's not so bad. And then this is the last portion on the way out. So this is an easy way to come in if you wanted to come in and wanted to explore that area, like Stepping Stones, Jasper Beach and so forth. much easier route. But the Yeagarup area, this is beautiful because this is from Yeagarup Beach. Like, I mean, there's stunning shots. The beach there is beautiful. Look at the amount of space that you have there. It really is a fantastic and beautiful place, although you can see all the stormy clouds. Not the most ideal time frame, but yeah, this is still Yeagarup Beach. It's my car parked up to the side as well. Had a quick stop. That's just a vision from up very top of Callcup looking down. That's all our cars from all the members there that rocked up, and a big thanks for everyone that came. That's from the first June ascent, and then these are all the cars that came through. So we had Trevor's car, and then there's Brett and Dave that was there, and Jenna, and that's Trevor's car, and who joined us obviously, as I mentioned. And there's I really do like Anton's Ranger, really nice car, and there's all the cars together. So I really hope you enjoyed that, and I thank everybody for coming down. Thanks for the footage and all that, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you very much for listening.